In lesson 29A, we are going to be learning about true or false number sentences. This is one of those lessons that is called a Minnesota Essential and is added on to the regular lessons that we already do in everyday math. So you'll need your whiteboard marker and eraser, and you'll need the packet that was copied off with the additional sheets. You will not find them in your math journal. On your whiteboard, I would like you to draw a rectangle, label the base of it or the bottom of it 7 feet, and the width or the side of it 4 feet. We're going to figure out the area and perimeter of this rectangle. Couple of reminders. Area is length times width. That's how we figure out the area. And the area is the amount inside of the shape. And the way that we find that is length times width. If we're figuring out the perimeter, we might be putting a fence around something or a border of some sort, and we need to know the distance around the shape. So for perimeter, we would add up all 4 sides. So it's length plus width plus width. So would you please go ahead, pause your video, figure out the area, the amount inside the rectangle, and the perimeter, which is the distance around all 4 sides. Pause your video at this time. So in the rectangle, the length is 7, the width is 4. To figure out the area, I take 7 times 4, which is 28 feet squared, or I could write 28 square feet, but you need that label on there. Perimeter would be to take the length, 7 plus the width, because there's 2 sides. 7 and 7 is 14, and 4 and 4 is 8. 14 plus 8 is 22, and we just label that with feet. 22 feet. Next, I would like you to construct a table that on the top left-hand side, you write the word yards, and on the right-hand side, you write feet. Go ahead and fill in 1 yard, draw a line, 7 yards, draw a line, 12 yards, draw a line, and then write in 8. A bit of a reminder that there are 3 feet in 1 yard. So in order to convert yards to feet, I'm going to multiply by 3. So let's see if you can fill it in before I do. 1 yard. What is 1 times 3? Fill it in on your whiteboard. 3. Again, remember, if you need your multiplication chart, that's absolutely fine. Just have it near you. You have one that I sent home in your Portage pickup a while ago or in the back of your math journal. Next, 7 times 3. What is 7 times 3? Fill it in before I do. 21. And yes, we need to memorize our multiplication facts up to 12. So 12 yards times 3 feet in a yard. What is 12 times 3? 36. And lastly, 8 times 3. 8 times 3 is 24. Go ahead and erase your whiteboard. I want you to draw what looks like 3 different types of triangles on your whiteboard. And underneath, I want you to tell me what type of triangle that they represent. And here are your choices: acute, obtuse, and right. And we've had a lesson about this. So go ahead under each triangle and fill in what type of triangle it is. Pause your video while you draw it and label the type of triangle. I trust that you are drawing the triangles on your whiteboard, you are labeling them, and you are doing everything that I ask while you're watching these videos. It will help you if your family decides you're going back into the classroom, either at the end of the semester in January, or if you don't go back till next year. These will be things that you build upon as a 5th grader. So the first thing I see is it has a right angle. The minute I see any triangle has a right angle, it is called a right triangle. Next, I notice that all of these angles are acute. They're all smaller than 90 degrees. So if you have a triangle that has all angles less than 90 degrees, it's called an acute triangle. And by process of elimination, I see one angle here that's larger than 90 degrees. And if it has just one angle that's more than 90 degrees, we call that an obtuse triangle. So our warm-ups are made to just review the skills that we've gone over so far so that you don't forget those. You are going to go ahead and grab your packet. You're looking for sheet MM1, I believe. It says lesson 2-9A at the top. And this is what the top of it looks like. It says number sentences. You will need your multiplication chart for this. It says find values for the unknowns that make the multiplication and division number sentences true. So you'll see what they have is called an open sentence. It means it's missing a number. So in this case, some number times 90 gives me 540. In number 1, you'll notice this symbol right here, that is for division. It just means divided by. The asterisk is also multiplication, division, and multiplication. So for number 1, you're going to use your multiplication chart. I know it's a division problem, but remember we can use it for division as well. 77 divided by some number gives me 7. So I'm going to start going across my 7s. So get out your multiplication chart. Go across the 7s until you get to 77. Put your finger on it. Go across the 7s. When you get to 77, stop. And then go straight up. What number do you see up at the top? You should see the number 11. Do you see that? 77 divided by 11 gives me 7. In other words, 7 times 11 would be 77. So now I'm going to rewrite the number sentence using the solution or the answer. So 77 divided by 11 equals 7. It's just a little bit different way to see it. Next, some number times 5 gives me 400. Now, don't let it confuse you. I'm going to ignore the 0 for a minute. What number times 5 would give me 40? So using your multiplication chart, find your 5s. Go straight across until you get to 40. Then go up from there. What times 5 gives me 40? And the answer would be 8. Then I add on the 0 I ignored. It's basically an extended fact. So I'm now going to write the number sentence with my solution. 400 equals 80 times 5. All right, next, 7 equals some number divided by 4. So I have 2 numbers that I know I'm going to deal with, 7 and 4. Okay, another way to think about this is work in reverse. What number times 7 times 4 is what number? So what I want you to do is I want you to go to the 4s. Let's start there. And take 4 times 7. So go over, put your top finger on 7, put your other finger on 4, bring them slowly together until you get where they meet or intersect. In other words, what is 4 times 7? It's 28. So 7 equals 28 divided by 4. And lastly, for number 4, 11 times what gives me 132? So you're going to go across your 11s on your multiplication chart. This one won't work in your math journal. Go across your 11s. So you're going near the bottom of the page. Take your finger and go straight across. 11, 22, 33, 44, all the way till you get to 132. Then go straight up from there. What do you get? You get 12. The answer is 12. So 11 times 12 gives me 132. So I'm going to go ahead, write my solution in there so I get a true number sentence. Don't worry about the other ones on this page. We have plenty of practice, and so we're going to move on to page 2, or the bottom of that page. Determine the unknown addend or factor that makes each number sentence true. So I'm going to go ahead and look at 70 plus some number plus 410 equals whatever 350 plus 60 plus 7 is. So the first thing I need to do is figure out what the right side of this equation equals. So you have space on this sheet to go ahead and add up 350 plus 60 plus 70. Would you write that on your white sheet? Go ahead. Add up 350 plus 60 plus 70. 5 plus 6 is 11. 11 plus 7 is 18. Carry your 1. 1 plus 3 is 4. So this side of the equation equals 480. Go ahead and write that above so you don't forget. Now the left side of the equation now has to equal 480. I already have 410 and I have 410 and 70. So 410 plus 70, if I add those together, it already equals 480. So what would I add to this 480 to get 480? Well, I think they tried to trick you. The t is 0. There is nothing that you want to add to make that a larger number. So it would be 70 plus 0 plus 410 equals 350 plus 60 plus 70. A little tricky on that one. Writing on your white sheet, go ahead. Some number times 5 is the same thing as 10 times 6. So what I want to do is solve what is 10 times 6. Well, it's 60, so put that right over there so you don't forget. So now I say what number times 5 would give me 60. So I'm going to look at my multiplication fact. I'm going to put my finger on the 5 on the left-hand side of the sheet and go across till I get to 60. It's the very last number. I'm going to go straight up from there. What do you multiply 5 by to give you 60? And the answer would be 12. So the solution is 12, and now I'm going to write the number sentence with my solution in it. So 12 times 6 equals 10 times 6. They balance each other out. The next one, 36 plus 128 would be the same thing as some number plus 99. So the first thing I want to do is figure out what 36 plus 128 is. And you may use your whiteboard. You may write it right on your white sheet. Go ahead and solve. 8 plus 6 is 14. Carry your 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. And bring down your 1. So what I know so far is this, that the left-hand side equals 164. I actually want you to write that right above the left-hand side of the equation. So now I know that I have to add some number to 99 to get 164. So if I take 164 and subtract 99, go ahead and do this. Pause your video. I cannot take 4 minus 9, so I borrow from the 6 and make it a 5. Now I can take that 1 in front of the 4 to make 14 minus 9 is 5. 15 minus 9 is 6. So what did they add to 99 to get 164? And the answer is 65. So I'm going to rewrite it. 36 plus 128 is the same thing as 65 plus 99. We're going to stop here for today. And what we're going to do is we will continue this lesson tomorrow in part 2.